يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن هذا الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We give thanks and praise to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for making us Muslims. The Messenger of Allah said, لا يدخل الجنة إلا المؤمنون. He said, nobody will be admitted into Al-Jannah except the believers. Who are the believers? Believers are those who believe in Allah and all the attributes of faith. So nobody is admitted into Al-Jannah except believers. We can say there in a general term, all Muslims who are admitted into Al-Jannah, but we can't say specific Muslims who are admitted into Al-Jannah. What I'm trying to say is that a Muslim is destined for Al-Jannah, but a specific Muslim, nobody can say this one is destined for Al-Jannah. Nobody can even say that a specific character is destined for Al-Jannah. Because nobody knows what is going to be the end of such a person. We can say our believers are only going to be in Al-Jannah, not only believers. That is general term. So if you are walking on the street and see a non-Muslim, you can't say this one is going to hell. Or you meet a Muslim and say this one is going to Al-Jannah. No. Only Allah knows. There is a two conditions in Islam that some people they have been destined for Al-Jannah and we have been told that Allah will definitely achieve them to Al-Jannah. And the evidence for this individuals are only contained in the Qur'an and the Sunnah. You see, at times, some of us, when we try to pay this to cemetery, at times we discover that there are some dead bodies that is not rotten, that is not rotten, not maybe this Walida is going to Al-Jannah. He doesn't believe that. Because somebody is not decayed, body is not decayed, does not mean that the person is admitted into Al-Jannah. No. So because somebody has really, worked for Islam and that we know him to be Muslim and he died and after death we say, inshallah, he's going straight to Al-Jannah. No. We can only wish him or her Al-Jannah and pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will admit him to Al-Jannah. So in the Quran, there are some individuals that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has informed us as a result of certain things that happen to them, that these people, they are going to Al-Jannah. We are going to look at three personalities. The first one is the man mentioned in Surah Al-Yasin. Then the second one is the believer in the house of Fir'aun. And the third one is the wife of Fir'aun. Now, for us to understand why the man of Yasin will be admitted to Al-Jannah, let's read the background story. as contained in Surah Yasin. That's Quran chapter 36, verses 13 to 29. Allah says, AbdusSalaam واضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاءها المرسلون. Allah was addressing the messenger of Allah, and he said, give them a similitude, the story of the dwellers of the town, when there came to them the messengers of Allah. Allah says, إذ أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون. Allah said, these people, Allah sent them two messengers, but they denied them. Then Allah now sent another messenger to strengthen those two. And when he got there, they said, we are to you messengers of Allah. But in response to this, the people of the town said, قَالُوا مَا أَنْتُمْ إِلَّا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُنَا. You people are nobody other than human beings like ourselves. وَمَا أَنْزَلَكُمْ الرَّحْمَنُ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. And the merciful Allah didn't reveal anything. In Antum illa Tajibun. You are nothing but liars. You are lying. Qalu. The messenger responded to them. Rabbuna ya'lamu inna ilaykum lamursalun. Our Lord Allah knows that we are indeed to you messengers. Wa alayna illa al-balagul mubin. Our responsibility is to make sure that we deliver the message of Allah to you as clearly as possible. Now, these people, instead of listening to the messengers of Allah, they started attributing evil to them. All they said, "Inna taqayyarna bikum." لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم ولا يمسنكم منا عذاب عليم. They said, your coming to us is a bad omen. It's an evil omen. You see, things have changed. Now, when the messengers of Allah, anytime Allah sends them to people, and they deliver the message of Allah, there is going to be problem with people. One, what they are believing to be true has not been challenged, and the forces of it has been made plain to them. Now you see people accepting the truth, maybe not in multitude, but you will have seen that in a family that is known to be the champion of the old belief. You will see people among them accepting what the message of Allah has brought, and this will have caused destruction within their family. So as a result of this, these people are now accusing the messenger who has brought bad omen to them. And he said, "La'in lam tantahu, if you do not desist from preaching death, lanarjumannakum, we will definitely show you. Wala yamassannakum minna adhabun alim." And even apart from stoning you, we will deal with you with severe punishment. Now, after pressing the messengers to obey, they were never perturbed. They were never moved. They answered them and they said, "Qalu qa'ilukum ma'akum. Ahidu kirtum bal antum qawmun mushrikun." He said, is it as a result of the message of Allah delivered to you that we are now source of the bad omen to you? Qalu ta'irukum ma'akum. Your evil omen is with you, not from us. بَلْ أَنْتُمْ قَوْمٌ مُسْرِفُونَ. You are nothing but extravagant people. You have wasted your life, you have wasted everything that Allah has given you. It's from this your disobedience that the over moment came to you. As they were trying to deal with this messenger, there came a man from a far distance. وَجَاءَ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ رَجُلٌ يَسْعَى قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ اتَّبِعُوا الْمُرْسَلِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, a man. You see, according to Ibn Abbas, they said the name of this man is Habib. They said he was he was very weak. The man was very weak, so he was struggling to come and meet his people, not to have anything to do against the messenger. And he said, قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ اتَّبِعُوا الْمُرْسَلِينَ. Oh my people, follow this messenger. They are calling you to the right path. اتَّبِعُوا مَنْ لَا يَسْأَلُكُمْ أَجْرًا وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. Follow people who will never ask you for any wage, any compensation for their dawah. They are calling you sincerely for Allah, and they believe in ajriya illa ala Allah. Whatever is going to give you the reward for this effort will not come from you, but from Allah. So اتَّبِعُوا مَنْ لَا يَسْأَلُكُمْ أَجْرًا. Follow the one who will never ask you for any compensation. وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. And they are the one that has been rightly guided. Now the man now has to save them so that they know that the advice he's giving them is not only meant for them, it's the advice that they are giving himself and they are taking it. He said, وَمَا لِي لَا أَعْبُدُ الَّذِي فَطَرَنِي وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. Why will I not worship him who created me, who originated me, and to him is our return? Why would I not worship him? You see, one of the reasons why each and every creature of Allah, particularly human being, should worship Allah is because Allah created you. If you go back to Surah Al-Jannah, Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nas, ubudu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum walladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. He says, oh mankind, worship your Lord who created you and those before you so that you can attain piety. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now tells us reasons why only Allah deserves to worship. Allah now takes us from rububiyyah back to rububiyyah. He said, Alladhi ja'ala lakum al-arda firasha. Allah has made this land like a carpet you can walk freely on it. وَالسَّمَاءَ بِنَاءً. And He has made the sky like canopy upon you. وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً. And Allah sent down to you from heaven water, rain. فَأَخْرَجَ بِهِ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ رِزْقًا لَكُمْ. With this rain, Allah allows your food and everything to germinate. Then you have anyone responsible for that? فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Then do not associate any partners with Allah when you know that Allah doesn't have any partner. So this man was now telling them, وَمَا لِي يَا اللَّهُ أَعْبُدُ الَّذِي فَطَرَنِي. Why would I not worship Him that created me وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ, and to Him is our return? Now he's asking them, أَأَتَّخِذُ مِن دُونِهِ آلِهَةً. Should I now take other than Allah as God? In reading the Rahman Biduri, let us do that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to do me any harm. لا تُجِنِي أَنِّي شَفَاعَتُكُمْ شَيْئًا وَلَا يُفِيدُونَ. These people, this God, they can avail me before Allah nothing. They can't defend me, they cannot save me if Allah wants to punish me. And this is what we learn from the hadith of Ibn Abbas when he was walking with the messenger of Allah, he said, La yantama atil qawm ala ayyaduka bi shay'in lam yaduruka illa bi shay'in wa kataba Allahu laka. If people are together to harm you with anything, they cannot do anything except what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destined for you. Now, meaning that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one that can touch you with both good and harm. So if Allah has decided to touch you with harm, do you have anybody that can stop Allah from doing it? Nobody. So he said, if I was to do that in me Izan, that means I am in a manifest error, if I am misguided, if I was to do that. Now, I'm declaring to you, without missing words, openly, inni amantu bi rabbikum fasma'un. I believe in your Lord. Listen. I'm not hiding it. You see, I believe in Allah. That is what the man said. That sincere belief in Allah is what is taking this man into Al-Jannah. He believed in Allah and he stood by it. Yes, we are believers. Are we firm in our iman? Allah says, إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا. Those who say that Allah is our Lord and they remain resolute, steadfast. He said, Kul amantu billahi, as Messenger of Allah said when he was advising someone, he said, Kul amantu billahi thumma istaqim. Say, I believe in Allah, then remain steadfast. Yes, we claim to believe in Allah. Then have we been able to remain steadfast? Have we not been distracted by what we call to the problems of this world to the extent that we compromise our deen? The man remained steadfast, and what was the reward for his steadfastness? Kila yukuli Jannah. When the man died, Allah says he was told, enter Al-Jannah. Qala, when he witnessed the blessing of Allah in Al-Jannah, Qala he now said, Ya layta qawmi. He said, oh, would that my people know? Ya layta qawmi ya'lamun. Would it that my people know? Bima ghafara li rabbi. With what Allah has done for me, by forgiving me my sins, وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الْمُكْرَمِينَ, and now told me, he counted me among those who are honored. Honored where? In Al-Jannah. But what happened to his people after this man left this world? Allah says, وَمَا أَنزَلْنَا عَلَى قَوْمِهِ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ مِنْ جُندٍ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ وَمَا كُنَّا مُنزِلِينَ إِلَّا إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خالدون. That's what Allah says after the demise of this man. Nothing came to his people but the punishment of Allah. It was a shout from the angels and they remained silent. Dead. So this is one of those people that Allah has mentioned in the Qur'an that they are going to Al-Jannah. The second person is the man, that believing man from the family of Qur'aan. You see, this man was living in the kingdom or in the palace of the Qur'aan. He had the opportunity to hear whatever was going on there. The first time this man will make his iman known is when the chief was plotting with Qur'an to kill Musa. You know, if you read the story of Musa in Surah Al-Qasas, Quran chapter 28, was working in town, and two people were quarreling. Then an Egyptian, then an Israelite. So the Israelite was calling Musa to come and defend him. So because the Egyptian was just taking undue advantage, then Musa now hit the Egyptian and the Egyptian died. So the information goes to those authorities. So they said, oh, the best thing to do is to kill this boy. So they were trying to do that. And this man, before they concluded their decision, he ran, he left the palace and came to Musa and he said, Ya Musa, inna al-mala'a ya'tamiruna bika liyaqtuluka. He said, Musa, the chiefs, they were plotting, they were having a meeting, deciding how you will be killed. Please, leave this town immediately. Now, later, when Musa came, after he had spent like 8 years or more in Madiana, his Pharaoh insisted that he must kill Musa. He now said, Zaruni Aksul Musa. Leave him alone, let me kill Musa. Now, when he said it, وَقَالَ رَجُلٌ مُؤْمِنٌ مِنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ يَكْتُمُ إِيمَانَهُ. A man who was from the family of Fir'aun, who was trying to hide his iman, now said, أَتَقْتُلُونَ رَجُلًا أَنْ يَقُولَ رَبِّيَ اللَّهُ. Are you going to kill a man simply because he said that Allah is my Lord? وَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ. And this man has brought ample signs, evidences, min rabbikum, from your Lord. وَإِنْ يَكُ كَاذِبًا. If this man is a liar, فَعَلَيْهِ كَذْبُهُ. His lie will be upon him. وَإِنْ يَكُ صَادِقًا. If what the man is saying is true, يُصِبْكُمْ بَعْدَ الَّذِي يَعِدُكُمْ. Beware, some of the things that are facing you with will definitely befall you. In Allah, لَا يَهْدِي مَنْ هُوَ مُسْرِفٌ كَذَّابٌ. Allah will never guide whoever is extravagant and a liar. Ya qawm. The man said, oh my people, لَكُمُ الْمُلْكُ الْيَوْمَ ظَاهِرِينَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Today, you have the authority on the land that is dominant. فَمَنْ يَنْصُرُونَ مِنْ بَعْدِ اللَّهِ إِنْ جَاءَنَا. Who is going to defend us from the punishment of Allah if eventually comes to us? Called Fir'aun. When the man stopped talking, the other man said, مَا أُرِيكُمْ إِلَّا مَا أَرَى. What I'm showing you is what I see to be right. وَمَا أَهْدِيكُمْ إِلَّا سَبِيلَ الرَّشَادِ. I'm not guiding you to any path other than to the right path. وَقَالَ الَّذِي آمَنَ. The one that believes, now it's time for the man to come out with his faith in Musa. Ya qawmi, oh my people, inni akhafu alaykum. I have a fear for you of what? Mithla yawm al-hadar. What befell people before you? That's the fear that I have. Mithla dabis qawmi Nuh wa Ad wa Samud. Just like what happened. So people of Nuh, people of Ad, and people of Samud, وَالَّذِينَ مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ, and those who came after them. وَمَا اللَّهُ يُرِيدُ ظُلْمًا لِلْعِبَادِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not wish any injustice to any of his servants. وَمَا رَبُّكَ بِالظَّلَامِ لِلْعَبِيدِ. Your Lord will never be unjust to any of his servants. He said, وَيَا قَوْمِ, oh my people, إِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ يَوْمَ التَّنَادِ. I fear for you a day there will be exchange of communication between who? Between the people of Al-Jannah and the people of hell. يَوْمَ تُوَلُّونَ مُدْبِرِينَ مَا لَكُمْ مِنَ اللَّهِ مِنْ عَاصِمٍ وَمَنْ يُضْلِلِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ هَادٍ. The day you will turn your back running, and nobody will be able to save you or protect you from Allah. وَمَنْ يُضْلِلِ اللَّهُ, whoever Allah allows you to be misguided, فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ هَادٍ, nobody can guide such a person. He now has to remind them of messengers that Allah has sent to them before Musa. وَلَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ يُوسُفُ مِنْ قَبْلُ, Allah has sent Prophet Yusuf to you before, بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ, with clear signs. فَمَا زِلْتُمْ بِشَكٍّ مِمَّا جَاءَكُمْ, you remain in your doubt with what is brought to you. حَتَّى إِذَا هَلَكَ, until he died. قُلْتُمْ, you are saying, لَنْ يَبْعَثَ اللَّهُ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ رَسُولًا, Allah will not raise any messenger after him again. كَذَلِكَ يُضِلُّ اللَّهُ مَنْ هُوَ مُسْرِفٌ مُرْتَابٌ. That is how people who are transgressors and they are doubtful of Allah's truth, that is how they are guided. They will think that nothing will come after a messenger has gone, no one will come. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not stop sending his messenger. And you know, the messenger of Allah, even though he has left this world, but he said that the ulama will continue to perform the function of the Anbiya. Who are these people who are Muslim Murtad? Who are these people who are transgressors and those who are doubters? الَّذِينَ يُجَادِلُونَ فِي آيَاتِ اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ سُلْطَانٍ آتَاهُمْ, those who deny the signs of Allah without any authority from Allah. كَبْرَ مَقْتًا عِندَ اللَّهِ وَعِندَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. You see, these people, what they are doing is disgusting and hateful in the sight of Allah and mankind, and those who believe. كَذَلِكَ يَطْبَعُ اللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ قَلْبٍ مُتَكَبِّرٍ جَبَّارٍ. Listen. قَلْبٍ مُتَكَبِّرٍ جَبَّارٍ. If your heart, it resides in your heart as little as an atom weight of arrogance, you will not get the guidance of Allah. He said, that is how Allah seals every heart that is arrogant and tyrant. If you are arrogant and you are tyrannical, you will not be guided. You see, that is what this man was telling them. Indirectly, he was telling Fir'aun that you are arrogant and tyrannical. وَقَالَ فِرْعَوْنُ, Fir'aun was not even interested, was not even giving any ear to what the man was saying. You know, exactly what the man had said about him, he wanted to prove it. وَقَالَ, he said, Ya Aman, O Aman, if the least hand, I want you to build a tower for me, لَعَلِّي أَبْلُغُ الْأَسْبَابِ, so that I may have a way of doing what? Asbab as-samawati, so that I can climb into the heavens. فَأَطَلِّعَ إِلَى إِلَهِ Musa, so that I can have face to face with the God of Musa. وَإِنِّي لَأَظُنُّهُ كَاذِبًا, I consider him to be telling and to be a liar. وَكَذَلِكَ زُيِّنَ لِفِرْعَوْنَ سُوءُ عَمَلِهِ. That is how we have made seemingly appealing to Fir'aun is evil deed. وَصُدَّ عَنِ السَّبِيلِ, and turning away from the right path. وَمَا كَيْدُ فِرْعَوْنَ إِلَّا بِالسَّبَابِ. All the plot of Fir'aun is leading to nowhere other than destruction. وَقَالَ الَّذِي آمَنَ, the man who believed didn't stop. He was not back up. He continued. He said, Ya Qawmi, oh my people, don't listen to Fir'aun. Ittabi'uni, follow me. Ahadiku sabila rashad. I'm going to guide you to the right path. Don't listen to Qur'an who says, Ma uriku illa ma ara wa ma ahadiku illa sabil rashad. You know that's what he said. What I'm showing you is what I think to be right, and I'm guiding you to the right path. The man is not saying, don't listen to him. I'm the one to guide you to the right path. Ya qawmi, my people, listen. Innama hadhihi al-hayatu dunya. I want you to know what the life of this world is. Mata'un. It's what? A quick and passing enjoyment. وَإِنَّ الْآخِرَةَ verily the hereafter hiya darul qarar. That is the everlasting abode. That is once you have been admitted there, you remain there forever. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Bayyinah, Inna alladhina kafaru min ahli al-kitabi wal mushrikina fi nari jahannama khalidina fiha ulaika hum sharrul bariyah. Inna alladhina amanu wa 'amilus solihat ulaika hum khairul bariyah. Allah says those who disbelieve among the kuffar and the idolaters and the Ahlul Kitab, they are the worst of mankind, and nothing is for them other than Jahannam. But those who believe, they are the best of mankind. Now, what is their reward? Jazaa'uhum inda rabbihim jannatu adnin tajri min tahtiha al-anharu khalidina fiha abada. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says their own reward on the day of judgment is Al-Jannah Adil. That's the name of one of the Al-Jannah Adil. Tajri min tahtiha al-anharu, under which rivers flow. Once they are admitted there, khalidina fiha abada, they remain there forever. So this man is now telling them that hereafter is where you can have a life of everlasting, a life that will remain there forever. In our case, man amila sayyi'a, whosoever does evil deeds, fala yujza illa biha, will not be rewarded except with the life of it. Wa man amila salihan, whosoever does good, min dhakarin aw untha, whether male or female, wa huwa mu'min and is a believer, فَأُولَٰئِكَ يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ. These are the people who will be admitted into Al-Jannah. يُرْزَقُونَ فِيهَا بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ, and will be provided for therein without any measure. Similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Nahl, verse 98, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Man amila salihan min verse 97, Man amila salihan min zakarin aw unsa fa huwa mu'minun falanuhyiyannahu hayatan tayyiba falanajziyannahum ajrahum bi ahsani ma kanu ya'malun. Allah says, whosoever does good deeds, whether male or female and is a believer, we are going to lead them to enjoy this life. They are not going to lose this life, but we are going to reward them on the hereafter with the best of what they did. So this man was telling them that once you are admitted into Al-Jannah, then you will have everything in abundance without any end. So it is better you listen to me now and follow me because this is the right path. Why are you? He now comes to the Pharaoh and his people. Mali adihukum ila najat. Why is it that I'm calling you to success and salvation? Watajibunani ila nar, and you are calling me to hellfire. Tajibunani li akfura billahi. You are asking me, you are calling me to disbelieve in Allah. Wa mushrika bihi, and to associate partner with Allah. Mali Saliki in something that I have no knowledge of. Wa ana adimukum ila al-Aziz al-Ghaffar. And I'm calling you to the Aziz, Almighty, Al-Ghaffar, All-Forgiving, Al-Aziz, who can punish you and destroy you, and you will not bear the consequence. Al-Ghaffar, who is so merciful and so forgiving that if you are ready to turn to righteousness now, if you are ready to seek Allah's forgiveness now, and turn believers, Allah is ready to forgive your past sins. لا جرم أن ما تدعونني إليه ليس له دعوة في الدنيا. There's no doubt, and I'm very sure that what you are calling me to, the path you are inviting me to, what you want me to worship in this world, ليس له دعوة في الدنيا, has no claim in this world. ولا في الآخرة, neither does he have any claim in the hereafter. وأن مرادنا إلى الله. Don't forget, we are all going to return to Allah. وَأَنَّ الْمُشْرِكِينَ هُمْ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ. And transgressors are going to hell. When the man finished what he was saying, he now said, finally, فَتَتَذْكُرُونَ مَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ وَيُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَصِيرٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. You may not be ready to listen to me now. You may not be ready to take my advice. You may be saying that it's only a dog backing. Whatever you may say, you will soon remember. What I'm telling you now, all the advice I'm giving you, you will soon remember. Ma aqulu lakum, what I'm saying now. وَأُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. All my affairs, I put it in the hands of Allah. إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَصِيرٌ. Allah sees everything. Everything you do, Allah sees everything. Everything you do, Allah sees it. With this message passed by this man, Qur'aan and his people, they wanted to kill him. فَوَقَّاهُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِ مَا مَكَرُوا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we saved him from the evils of what they have plotted. وَحَاقَ بِآلِ فِرْعَوْنَ سُوءَ الْعَذَابِ. Those who eventually visited with punishment, severe punishment, and painful punishment was Fir'aun and his people. Allah says, not only they are punished and they are left for that period, they continue to receive part of the punishment that will be their lot of the judgment. And now, يُرَدُونَ عَلَيْهَا غُدُوًّا وَعَشِيًّا. Every morning and evening, Allah will taunt them to have a taste of hellfire while they are in their grave. Until the day of judgment. وَيَوْمَ تَقُومُ السَّاعَةُ. On the day of judgment, they will be now told, إِدْخُلُوا آلَ فِرْعَوْنَ أَشَدَّ الْعَذَابِ. All that they have experienced is nothing. Now give them more severe punishment in hellfire. Imam Ibn Kathir, he says that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَوَقَّاهُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِ مَا مَكَرُوا, that Allah saved this man from the evil of what they have plotted against him, Allah on the day of judgment will reward him with Al-Jannah. Now, what saved this man? What guarantees this man Al-Jannah? Is sincere iman and steadfastness on it. The Messenger of Allah said, one of the verses of the Quran that has had a very hard effect on my life is the command when Allah says, وَاسْتَقِمْ كَمَا أُمِرْتَ. Remain steadfast as you have been commanded. Wallahi, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, it's not easy to remain steadfast. You need Allah's assistance. Look at around you, temptation from different sources, things that are inviting you to sin against your Lord. It's called al-insan, just like shaitan. It's called al-insan when you tell man, disbelieve in Allah, disobey Allah, don't listen to what Allah is saying, Don't follow his his rules and regulations. فَلَمَّا كَفَرَ. When you now listen to him and you believe in Allah, and the consequence of your disbelief now came, God, I will not tell you, إِنِّي بَرِيءٌ مِّنْكَ, I dissociate myself from you. إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهَ رَبَّ الْعَالَمِينَ, I even fear Allah. Can you imagine? My dear brothers and sisters, the man also was given Al-Jannah because of the sincere iman and steadfastness, the last one, which is the wife of Qur'aan. Let's go back to the historical background of this woman. You know, when Prophet Musa's mother came back to him, the woman was not happy at all, because this was the period that Qur'an had issued a decree that any male child, any born male child from the Israelites should be killed. It was at this particular time that she delivered. She was now full of fear. Allah now says in Surah Al-Qasas, Arji'i, suckle your child. فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ. If you have the fear that they should not have access to him, فَلِقِيهِ بِالْيَمِّ. Put him in the pot, as contained in Surah Al-Qasas. Put him in the pot and throw him on the river Nile. فَلَا تَخَافِي. Don't exercise any fear that you are throwing your child in a bucket on the river. وَلَا تَحْزَنِي. Don't be grieved. Inna raduhu ilayki. We will return this child to you. Not only that he is going to be returned to you, waja'iluhu min al-mursalin, and is going to be made one of the messengers of Allah. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, if this advice was to come from a sincere brother, a sincere sister to you, it's because you are generous and you love the brother, you will have slapped the brother. I want to save the life of my child. You have to throw the child on a river. But this is from Allah. That's what we say when you read the Qur'an and the authentic Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah is beyond your reasoning, is beyond your intellect. Don't doubt it, because it's from Allah and his messenger, and his messenger will never say anything except what Allah has instructed him to say. And Allah will instruct you to do certain things that is beyond your understanding, yes, but he will never go against reason. Yes, you will have in Islam something that agrees to reason and something that is beyond reason, but not something that is against reason. You may find that in any other religion, but not in Islam. So, Allah says don't fear. Then woman did what Allah asked him to do. Eventually, the child, even in Surah Al-Qasas, Allah even informed him where the water will take the child. He said, this child is going to the house of Aduwuli wa Aduwulahu, my own enemy and his own enemy. So on arrival at the backyard of Qur'aan, they saw the child and his wife saw the child. Qur'aan said, maybe this one of these the children that they have informed me of. Let me kill you. The wife said, no. Kurata ainilaka, because the wife didn't have any child. I don't have any child. Why can't we adopt this child to be our own? You know what Allah did? فَأَلْكَيْتُ عَلَيْكَ مَحَبَّةً مِنِّي فَلْتُصْنَعَ عَلَى عَيْنِي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I bestowed on Musa my love, that whoever set his eyes on him should fall in love with Musa. So Pharaoh now, based on this, on the advice of the word, it is true. And immediately he instructed that all the nannies should gather in his palace. And they all came to take good care of the child of the president. Everybody wanted to have that honor. But Allah denied every one of them. Based on the promise he has given to Musa's mother, that inna radu ilayhi, that we are going to return this child to you. So Allah says, وَحَرَّمْنَا عَلَيْهِ الْمَرَاجِعَ. We made it impossible for Musa to take any one of these nannies. Then his sister came forward and said, I have somebody from my family who can assist you. So let me go and bring the person. And then she brought the Musa's mother, and immediately the child followed his mother. Allah said, can't you see that we have fulfilled our promise? Now, the wife of Fir'aun loved Musa very well. Everything that Fir'aun was doing, she did not like it. Then there's things she should do. He now got to a point when she could not hide her face anymore. She had to come out to defend people. Now, when she did this, Fir'aun now said, so my wife is equally one of my enemies. Okay. According to Ibn Jarir, he said the first thing that Fir'aun did to her is that if you say that my wife is equally among those who believe in Musa, okay, no problem. Bring her out. Let her come here. She confessed to her faith, and they now put it in the sun. Put her in the sun and tortured her. So they continue to torture her in sessions. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected her. Allah didn't allow her to experience any of these tortures. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now gave us the similitude of our life that the messenger of Allah will use it for the believers. As contained in Surah Al-Tahrim, Quran chapter 56 verse 11. Allah says, وَضَرَبَ اللَّهُ مَثَلًا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا امْرَأَةَ فِرْعَوْنَ إِذْ قَالَتْ رَبِّ ابْنِ لِي عِندَكَ بَيْتًا فِي الْجَنَّةِ وَنَجِّنِي مِنْ فِرْعَوْنَ وَعَمَلِهِ وَنَجِّنِي مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, give this similitude to people, particularly to those who have iman in us. An example of the wife of Fir'aun. When she was being tortured by Fir'aun, she remained steadfast. She did not, because of the pain, renounce his iman. How many of our brothers and sisters have abandoned Islam from his guidance simply because they couldn't have the job on time? Simply because they have been married for the past few years, no child. Simply because they have a lot of children, they now pass. So the only way is to look for alternatives from other than Islam. Look at the story of the woman. Not only that, the woman had everything in abundance. Has everything we can say, the pleasure of this world. But she forsook it for Allah. She sacrificed it for Allah. Have you tried to do that? In order to know Allah. Even living that Gates of Al-Jannah, the reward I want for this structure is for you to build a house for me in Al-Jannah. وَنَجِّنِي مِنْ فِرْعَوْنَ وَعَمَلِهِ, and save me from the evil deeds of Fir'aun. وَنَجِّنِي مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ, and save me from these oppressors, these unjust people who are oppressing people, and they are making life difficult for people simply because they have faith in Allah. وَمَا نَقَمُوا مِنْهُمْ إِلَّا أَنْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ الْعَزِيزِ الْعَلِيمِ. Surah Al-Buruj. They were not in touch, except that these people, they have faith in Allah. And the Messenger of Allah has told us, and has mentioned that one of the best women in this world was the wife of Qur'aan, Asya. And when you look at the man of Surah Yasin, the leading man in the family of Qur'aan and the wife of Qur'aan, they have the same characteristics. And this qualifies them to their intelligence and them. One, sincere iman in Allah. Two, and it's the form steadfastness. My brothers and sisters in Islam, if you have sincere iman in Allah, everything about Islam will be delightful to you. Everything about Islam you will like it, even if you are not doing it. Because there are people, they hate some things about Islam because they don't appeal to their desires. And Allah says, you enter the fold of Islam wholeheartedly. You don't just say, I have a leg in Islam and I have that leg somewhere else. No. You enter into Islam completely. And you are a Muslim everywhere. You are not a Muslim in the mosque and a Democrat outside the mosque. Or a Muslim in the mosque and a philosopher outside the mosque. Wherever you may find yourself, you must be a Muslim. When you eat like a Muslim. When you talk like a Muslim. When you cite references for whatever, you cite references like a Muslim. You do not suppress your position simply because a man said it is right. No. Call Allah, call Rasulullah. That's how. That's how we can remain steadfast. And what are the means of attaining this steadfastness? Number one.
Sorry. Please, if you are the owner of this car, Toyota Hilux FA683 APP, Toyota Hilux, Highlander, Toyota Highlander FA683 APP. If this car is your street, you are blocking somebody and wants to go out urgently, please try and help us to remove it. And Toyota Corolla Black FD294 APP, Mitsubishi Ashcolon AH132YRP. Please, if you are the owner of all these cars, please try and move them away. They are blocking people who want to go out urgently. Thank you.
As I was saying, what are the means of attaining this sincere iman and steadfastness? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Qur'an, AbdusSalaam أفلا يتدبرون القرآن أم على قلوب أقفالها أو على قلوب أقفالها. So the book should reflect on the Quran, or is there any factor on your heart that is preventing you from understanding it? We have to read and study the Quran. That is the message of Allah to us. Many of us will have it in our different schools, in a language that we can understand, but we use it just as a decoration. We have to reflect on it. If there is any aspect we can't understand, what does Allah say? Even in the Quran, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people of remembrance, meaning the learned one, if you do not understand it. Read. That is when you can acquire the sincere faith. Because it's only the knowledge that can strengthen your iman and can make you a muttaqi. In Surah Al-Fatir, Allah says, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهُ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. Those who fear Allah among His servants are the learned ones. It's not possible for an ignorant to be a muttaqi. How? There is nothing in Islam you want to do without knowledge. Take away knowledge, you can't practice Islam. That is why the first thing is fa'alam annahu la ilaha illallah. That's why Imam Bukhari, based on this ayah, he said, knowledge before action. Before you can perform any action in Islam, you have to first of all acquire the knowledge, then you go ahead. But today, many of us who have gone ahead with certain things will now be looking for references to support it, even though when the reference is against it. Cool. Let us try and seek knowledge, particularly studying the Qur'an and the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah. That's one. Number two, let us keep the company of believers. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين. In Surah Al-Tawbah, all you who believe, fear Allah and keep the company of the truthful. These are the people who tell you the truth. They will not hide anything for you. If you are doing the wrong thing, they will say, what you have done is this for the Sunnah. They will quickly pay attention to it. If you keep the company of the unrighteous, they will invite you to unrighteousness. That's why there's a book we were called by my mother, it's called Ali of Ali. There is a poem there it says, "An al-Mari ila tas'al wa sir for you know." It says, if you see a man, don't ask the man, who are you? I want to know you. No, don't ask me. Just look at the company he or she keeps. So, the animal is a sort of thing for you. For full origin, the Muqarrani Yaqtadi. He said, every keeper of the company who wants to emulate whatever they are doing. Now, if the company wants to keep is evil, فإن كان ذا شرا فجانبه سرعة. If that company is evil, take away as quickly as possible. فإن كان ذا خيرا فقالوه تهتدي. So if that company is of good, then keep the company, then you will guide it. So whenever you are in Islam, look at the company you keep. Are they people inviting you to the Akhirah or they are inviting you to the dunya? If they are inviting you to the dunya, please separate yourself from them. If they are inviting you to the Akhirah, keep their company. Don't always say that every time I'm with you, because Allah will do that, you will suggest any business for me. I won't say anything, you will say, Allah, it's good for you. It's better that you know what Allah says, so that will guide you in what you are eating. Because you may eat things that will prevent your body from being addicted to Al-Jannah. That's why the Messenger of Allah says, I will lie Nabata min suhtin falnaru awla bihi. Anybody that is nourished with haram, then hellfire is defeated above. So my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, let us look at the last way of these three images that Allah mentioned in the Qur'an. And let us try and make sure that we work on our iman and we try as much as we can to remain steadfast. Now, something to get us. At times, your iman shakes. You see that you are disobedient. you see that you are going into the world, your iman decreases. What do you do? Apart from what you have suggested, the most effective weapon that you can do is to call on Allah. Then how do you do that? Take those who ask that the Messenger of Allah has asked you to say when you find yourself in this type of situation. You have to. The Messenger of Allah used to say, "Ya muqallib al-qulub, fathbit qalbi ala dinik." Ya musarrif al-qulub, sarrif qalbi ala ta'atik. Ya muqallib al-qulub, I'm calling on you, muqallib al-qulub, the one that changes the heart the way we like. Fathbit qalbi ala dinik, make my heart firm on your deen. Ya musarrif al-qulub, the one that directs the heart to wherever you like. Sarrif qalbi ala ta'atik, direct my heart towards the near to you. I pray that Allah does that to each and every one of us. We want our guys to come and take some of the questions that have been paid for during the course of the lecture.
Sorry, before we continue with the questions and answers, I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely apologize for the condition and situation of the hall. This is not what we really thought would happen, and we will try to rectify the thing, but we hope that inshallah it's not going to be like this tomorrow. Yesterday it wasn't like this. It was well ventilated and cool yesterday. But because of the electrical fault, as was told before, that's why we don't have the ACs are not working. So inshallah we will try and do everything possible to ensure that something like this does not occur tomorrow, inshallah. Sir, please bear with us.
Question I will have here. Look at all these the use of we have to bring to open for that reward and not avoid. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. I want to talk about the movies can be classified into compulsory and recommended. Any movie that one is doing or any recommended movie that one is doing without having a class for it, such a movie is not accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The class is engaged as the professor mentioned during the course of the lecture. So take for instance the one who observe the 5-day prayer. But when he does this, he doesn't do then for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, such work is not going to do very well. So the act is not avoided. So the same thing applies to the recommended deeds. That's why al-ikhlas, which is here to do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is very, very important. The same thing is applicable to the forbidden things which are haram, or things that are good, makruhat, things that are intended. When you are avoiding these things that are haram, or these things that are makruhat, you must avoid them because Allah has not forbidden them. And that's why I give an example of somebody who does not fornicate, somebody who does not take intoxicants, and so on and so forth. He goes away from poverty. But when he goes away from them, he's not going away from them because Allah is forbidding it. He's going away from them because he doesn't like them. So the highest that will happen in the case of this person is that he will not be punished because he is not committing. He will not be punished because he does not take intoxicants. But will he be rewarded? In addition to that, the answer is no. And that's why a Muslim, when he goes away from the forbidden things and the detested things, and he does the compulsory things and the recommended things, all those things that are permitted, he does them, but he has the intention. He has the intention with that to be rewarded for all of this. And the hadith of the Prophet clarified this when he said, when one of you has sexual intercourse with his wife, is doing what? So the companion said, Ayat ya'aduna shahawatahu wa yakunu lahu fi ajr. We need that one of us satisfy himself, then you will have what it is. The Prophet said, Ara'ayta law wada'aha fi haram akana alayhi. Tell me, if he puts the organ in what is haram, will it be sinful? He said, yes. Said, وَكَذَلِكَ إِذَا وَضَعَهَا فِي الْحَلَالِ. The same thing is applicable when a good thing in halal. So, whether permissible, forbidden, detested, compulsory, recommended, a Muslim with good intention has a reward for all these.
This mention of the fact that Allah said you should keep the company for the pool. So that means that if I do not join a society, I'm doing something wrong.
We're not talking about society this time around. We are talking about those that move around. That those that have relationship with you on a day-to-day basis. We're not talking about society. It's not compulsory that you join any society. It is compulsory that you be a Muslim who is on the right path and doing the right thing. Now, if you have friends who are evil inclined, then they invite you to evil. But if you have friends who always remind you of the responsibilities as a Muslim, and when you are lagging behind, they also call attention to it. Then you have this, good company you are keeping. So we are not talking about society at all. It's not compulsory anybody to join any society at all. It's not compulsory. There is no fair in joining society because you need to Islam enough time to read Islam of society and not Islam of the Qur'an and Sunnah and right also. So we are fair in that. So what I really saying is that those you keep their company on day in, day out, and they righteous, and they Muslims. Yes, you must only have Muslims as your friends, that you can be friendly with others. That will be friendly. You have believers as your friends, that be friendly with others. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لا تتخذوا آباءكم وإخوانكم أولياء in istahabbul kufra ala al-iman. Do not take your father or your brother as friends if they prefer kufru to iman. Allah says, فَمَنْ يَتَوَلَّهُ مِنْكُمْ, those who go ahead now to take them as friends, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. These are the ones who are the just one. Allah.
Now, I'm not going to say what I really want to people is this of popular army in the country, because the non-Muslims, you will think that if we don't have passion in the man that we can bomb and kill people, non-Muslims and Muslims alike, they will share their view.
Whether bombers or killing people through other means, which is not sanctioned by Islam, this is haram and this is harmful, and it tarnishes the image of Islam, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbids us to kill people, whether they are Muslims or non-Muslims. Even if somebody is a kafir, it is not for you to take the soul of the kafir unless those who declare war against you. And this ought to be in the battlefield. So when you say you are fighting jihad, jihad must be organized, even if you are going to fight jihad. For somebody to now load himself with explosives and now plunge himself in the midst of the people in order to detonate and now kill souls, this is not part and parcel of Islam, and it was never practiced by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even when they were being persecuted in Mecca, he never did something like that, and he never encouraged his companions to do things like that. Rather, he was trying to persevere them, he was trying to calm them, and he was telling them that the victory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would come to them, that they should be steadfast. But for us to take laws into our hands and act contrarily to the Sunnah, claiming that we are propagating the Sunnah or we are establishing Islam with that, this is completely wrong. And if you look at the areas where people are doing this, they've not brought any benefit to the Muslims. Rather, they've brought so many calamities to the Muslims. In Iraq, where suicide bombing were going on, what did they benefit there? So many Muslims were killed. How many Americans were killed in Iraq? Compare the number of those Muslims who were killed in Iraq or in Afghanistan as a result of this suicide bombing, or in Palestine. Compare them to those who were killed, to those enemies who were killed, to those Americans who were killed. So, Islam weighs things. Whatever thing you want to embark upon, you have to know the benefit and the evil of it. If the evil outweighs the benefit, you don't go and do such a thing. And that's why there is no real scholar of Islam that will support this type of killing. Nobody will support this, because this is completely against Islam. So any person who is doing it with the intention that is spreading Islam with that, or with the intention that is fighting against injustice, this is not the way to fight against injustice, and this is not the way to promote Islam. So there are many ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ warning against it, and there are many verses of the Qur'an also talking about this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى تَهْلُكَ. Do not destroy yourself with your arms. Likewise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that the believers to supplicate that رَبَّنَا لَا تَجْعَلْنَا فِتْنَةً لِلَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Do not make us fitna for those who disbelieve. What does this mean? What it means is that acts that will be done by us that will make the kuffar have an excuse to do whatever they want to do. Acts that will be done by us that will give the kuffar opportunity to justify whatever things that they are doing against us. So this is the supplication of the believers, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shouldn't make us fitna for those who disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that they will not be doing some things that people will be sympathizing with them, that because those Muslims they've done so and so, and they will not give them support instead of giving us support on this. So this is just a brief comment on this. Wallahu a'lam.
Before the next question is taken, one, we have informed that some people have not registered. Please, if you have not registered, please go and register. So that we can assist us in meeting some of the financial responsibilities of this program. Number two, the book that has been advertised on the course material we have on the handy, that's Gates of Al-Jannah. The book is out now at the registration desk. At this rate, it is going to be 750 naira. So after this, it is going to be 1,000. So this is not afford to get the opportunity to take a copy and the registration desk when you are going out. Secondly, after the program, we are going to, by 3 o'clock, we are having the group discussion. And we are going to reflect on the question: is it only Muslims that will be in Al-Jannah? Is it only Muslims? So all things are such things we will discuss. So we are going to have a discussion the way we had this yesterday. And I think we are going to have more groups than we had yesterday. This all now is doing.
Now, someone is asking that basically I'm a Christian, but I was born a Muslim, and I'm also a Muslim by marriage. But due to some questions and some character by the Muslims, he has some questions regarding the character. The first one of them is, why is it that Muslim sisters or brothers don't assist fellow sisters and brothers like the Christians do? The second is, what is Muslim and why is it supported by Islam? And the third question is, Muslims say they don't break promise, but why they are breaking marriage? Why are they breaking marriage vows?
The Muslim that married.
Yes, now
the Muslim and married to Muslim. Alhamdulillah. Now you see, most of the time we make some very fundamental mistakes about Muslims. We equate Muslims with Islam, and that's the major mistake most of us today. There is a very big difference between Muslim and Islam. For example, a Muslim is someone who claims to be following the teachings of Islam. Now, he may represent Islam in the correct way or otherwise, but whatever he or she does, we are going to judge him or her by the teachings of Islam. So whatever you see in a Muslim, the first question you should ask yourself is that, is this what Islam has taught him or her to do? So if the answer is yes, then no problem. If it is no, then you should know that The man is a human being who is also affected by whatever affects any other human being. So you can be good today or bad the next day. That's human being for you. So we can't judge Islam by Muslims. We can only judge Muslims by Islam. That's what I want to understand in the first place. So it's just a human being, and you don't say, a sister in the hall, I don't know, she can be causing people. No, she is, yes, she's appearing as a Muslim, but the humanity in him has not been taken away. So she could be good now and the otherwise next time. So we are all human beings. So we shouldn't forget that. Even those of us addressing you, I may say Pastor, for instance, now, finishing the lecture on Pastor. Somebody annoys me as people are saying so, and I tell you that there. Now, that's human being, so we should understand that. Yeah. Then secondly, on the issue of masna, it's an ayah in the Qur'an where Allah permits Muslims to take 4, 3, 2, or 1, depending on your ability. That's why. Why does Allah allow that? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew that it was good for us. If not, He will never ask us to do it. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never command except what is right. Now, I find something that is right might have been commanded, but man may abuse it. So we should not now equate the abuse of man and now use this as a standard to now nullify what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded. No. So masna is to take the second wife, sulasa is the third, ruba is the fourth. But what Allah says that if you know you cannot do justice in the first 3 categories, then hold on to one. So Allah allows it. But that's not the discussion for today. We have some other things we can say to justify that institution. And by the time it is explained, you will even you will say That's what we say at the end of the day. So a Muslim woman, when they now go back on their vows of marriage, meaning in Islam I don't think we have any vows of marriage in Islam. We don't have vows, but we will make some promises that, okay, if you marry me, I will do this, if you marry me, I will do this. Yes, this goes back to the first thing that I said, that as human beings, you will go back. How many times you have even gone back on your promises too? That, okay, don't worry, come to amuse me at the office, I will do something to you. And the person comes and says, oh, I'm sorry, I thought I was able to do it, but I can't do it again, or something like that. So anybody can, go back on his promise, or a promise, or a vow, not because Muslim alone does it, anybody does it. So when you see a Muslim, you not try to, we do not expect a Muslim to do it. Yes, we do not expect, but we can't take out from that Muslim being human. Wallahu.
Now, someone is asking that, what are the rulings on eating food given to one by Christians on festive days like Christmas and New Year?
Before answering this question, a piece of information, or let me say you just came in now that in Jos, Abuja, that some people were killed as a result of the bomb blast in a church or so. So this thing could have been done by non-Muslims. Just near Abuja. Okay. This thing could have been done by non-Muslims. For the fact that some Muslims have been identified with this type of act, so the blame will be put on them. And I quoted a verse, رَبَّنَا لَا تَجْعَلْنَا فِتْنَةً لِلَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Oh Allah, don't make us fitna for those who disbelieve. So any act that a Muslim will do that may bring about ignominy or a kind of pain to Islam, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save every one of us from that. Because some people may be hiding, doing some things, committing some atrocities, in order to tarnish the image of the Muslims. How can we identify the person who is doing that? You cannot completely say that the person who has done it is not a Muslim or not a Muslim, unless it wants to be biased. Because these are things that Muslims are doing. If you go to Saudi Arabia, there are a lot of bomb blasts in the past. Even presently, there are a lot of things people are doing. Go to many Islamic countries, they are doing all this. So you cannot say it is the non-Muslims who are doing all this. Even if you say there are those who are doing some. But when the Muslims are also partaking in things that are not Islamic, then the kuffar will hide under things like this. Please, I want to appeal to us. Don't ever allow yourself to be carried away by this type of zeal or by this type of sympathy. That after all, they are killing Muslims in Afghanistan, they are killing Muslims. If they are killing Muslims in Afghanistan in anywhere, the solution to that is in the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The kuffar of Makkah, they persecuted so many Muslims, and despite all this, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam kept on telling them that you are people who are Asians. He never told them, oh yeah, go and start bomb blast or go and start so and so. He didn't tell them that. Rather, he was telling them to be patient, to be calm until they have the ability to correct these things. So when people plunge themselves into things like this will not be it will not be regulated, and it will bring more harm to Islam than benefit. Please let us avoid things like this. Don't sympathize with those who are doing it. Regardless of whatever reason they say they are fighting, Islam is completely against this. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam never preached that. And he said, "Man qatala nafsan mu'ahadan lam yajid rahiyat al-jannah." Whoever kills a soul that is not fighting you, a soul that you have covenant with, he said, "Lam yari rahiyat al-jannah." The person will not have the smell of al-jannah. Wa inna ri'aha la tujad min masirata 40 'ama. The smell of al-jannah is something that can be perceived from the distance of 40 years. A Muslim killing a non-Muslim that is not waging war against you, this will prevent the Muslim from being admitted into Al-Jannah. So don't let any zeal push you into taking what is not allowed Islamically. And we are saying this in order to dissociate ourselves from any act that takes this from Wallahu a'lam. Now, eating the food of the kuffar, the Christians or the Jews, during their festival, this is not permissible in our religion. As I said earlier, that doesn't mean you cannot relate with them in some other areas. But this is religion. Anything that has to do with religion, you do what your Lord asks you to do. You do what your prophet asks you to do. So you shouldn't take their food, their slaughtered meat. But if it is fruits or drinks that are not haram presented to you, a lot of companions who accept this, they will collect this from them. So if you feel like collecting this, you can collect this. But as for slaughtered animals, if they give it to you during their celebration of the Eid, we shouldn't take it, because it falls under ma uhilla li ghayri Allah. So this is the ruling on that. Wallahu a'lam.
Now, my piece of information for us: if you are the owner of a white spaceballs marked RA909AA, please go and move it. RA909AA.